All right, we are live. Let me hop across to the pre-game. Welcome to the second preseason matchup, which we are covering. Today we are covering the Nets, who are taking on Maccabi. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not going to bother pronouncing their full name because I think I'm going to absolutely butcher that as well. There's no guarantees I even said what I said correctly. So even when I tried to dumb it down, this team is so obscure I can't find their starting five, and I also couldn't find a photo of them recent enough to put on the thumbnail. So there you go. But if we talk about the starting lineup for today, you can see that we have Harry Giles in the starting lineup. The reason for that is because Nic Claxton is out with a glute problem. So I imagine that is just more management than anything. However, it does mean we have a shortage at the center position. What's new? So we probably will see Clowney at the 5 like we did at stages in the first preseason game against the Lakers. And we may also see some small ball kind of action with Darius Baisley or maybe Trendon Watford, who was doing a bit of facilitation. Those who have just rocked up, welcome to the stream. I hope you're all doing pretty well, as good as you can be. It's going to be an interesting game today because obviously it's one where we're playing a much more obscure opponent, an Israeli team. Obviously, they've got some more, well, bigger things to worry about, but they want to play today. So I guess it's good that we've got basketball happening. I'm just going to I just want to turn this off. Okay, that's better. Jabari, hope you're doing well, mate. Thanks for tuning in. I mean, what are you guys looking forward to seeing today? We can talk a little bit about last game. Ben Simmons, in his first action since February, scored 10 points on 4 of 6 shooting, which was pretty positive. A reason for optimism, obviously, for Nets fans. And he got to the free throw line 4 times, took 6 shots in a half, which is pretty good output from him. Spencer Dinwiddie hit 4 threes. Mikal Bridges probably didn't get enough usage, but he only played 15 minutes. And Cam Thomas is getting the starting gig yet again. So if that's a sign of things to come, then I'm pretty excited because, well, you know, Cam Thomas, I mean, a lot of people have been calling for him to get some good playing time. You will see a quote. Where is it? Just below there. Where Jacques Vaughn talks about how Cam Thomas is pulling his own weight on the defensive end, and he's not relying on other individuals to, you know, pick up the slack and make up, you know, compensate for the lack of defensive nous and ability that Cam Thomas has. So if Cam can do, well, even be bang average on defense, his offense will be significantly better. So it's about finding that balance, but he had 26 points on great efficiency. The third quarter consisted of 17 points. We were down by 14 at the half that last game. And, you know, he got us back into the game. We probably aren't only losing by 3 if Cam Thomas isn't, you know, rocking up in that third quarter. But we did see some, you know, good little cameos off the bench. Lonnie Walker led scoring off the bench with 14 in 20 minutes. He played the majority of the last. And Trendon Watford got 10 points in 17 minutes where he was facilitating. So right now we've just got a little bit of... Is this the Israeli national anthem? I'm not sure because I don't have the volume up. But this is a nice little wholesome touch by the Nets. Obviously, there's been a fair bit going on the other side of the world. So it's great to see that we're getting some... Well, we're showing respect because that would be the right thing to do. But you don't advocate for war on both sides. You don't advocate for retaliation, nor do you advocate for someone even starting it. So, anyway, where's Clax at? I don't see him on the starting lineup. We have mentioned that he is out with a glute injury, day to day. So it's probably more management. Do you think Ben Simmons and Nic Claxton will work? I will get back to you on that one, because I think if Ben Simmons is functioning, it completely removes that spacing issue you would usually have with a player like Ben Simmons and a player like Clax. If you can get out and transition a lot more, I think that'll... Well, if you're in the half court, I think there's going to be more problems than if you're in transition. I will say that with those two, but yeah. So I just want to... Can I hear anything? No, not yet. Apparently, it's on mute. That's helpful. Coming through the other audio. That's a bit weird. Let me just fix this up. That's better. Yeah. So yeah, a lot of how do I say this? A lot of recognizing tonight pre-game. The national anthem's being sung now for the US. But who are you looking forward to seeing tonight? Because there is... Well, obviously, there's going to be a bit of increased opportunity for players like Harry Giles, who's playing the centre position today. And he's probably going to get extended run. He only played, how many minutes? 10 minutes, 4 points, 4 rebounds, 2 of 3 from the field. One of those shots was actually a mid-range. So I didn't know he had that in his bag, but good sign, I guess. All right, so we're bordering on the start of this one. We will be doing the game next week as well, between Philly and the Nets. That's the third and second last preseason game. Second last tune-up before the first match of the season on October 25, I believe. Which will be played against Cleveland. I'm not sure if it's at home. I don't remember. So yeah, but it was a pretty good outing by the boys the other day. I didn't know they had that much offense in them. So I feel like because there was a lot of pace to the game and we were getting out in transition a fair bit, getting stops, especially more so in the second half, I think there could be a lot of potential there. But Ben just needs to continue where he left off. And we've got a nice little gift exchange between both the Israeli players and the Nets players as well. Don't ask me who the starting lineup is for Israel. I'm going to have a few issues not only pronouncing their names, some of them, but also I don't even know who half of them are. So this is going to be an interesting watch if you've watched for the Israeli team. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm just more looking forward to just seeing this team playing again. You would think that we win convincingly. You would think. But if the Dallas game was anything to go off the other day, where Real Madrid actually beat them, then it probably says you shouldn't treat teams like this as pushovers. Daniel Berry, welcome to the stream, mate. I hope you're doing excellent. People may think I'm dumb, but I do actually see the Nets making the playoffs. If Ben plays aggressive, he'll average about 15 to 20. I mean, I would say you're potentially jumping the gun, but that being said, the first game that we saw from Ben Simmons this season, obviously against LA, was a positive sign and definitely like an indicator that he could average 10 to 15 points, or 15 to 20 even. But I don't think he's going to average 15 to 20. I think in order for that to happen, you have to score pretty consistently. And if you don't score consistently, then you have to have a lot of high-scoring games, I guess. Or you need to score upwards of 20, 25 a couple of times. Do I think Ben's got that in his... Do I think he's capable of that? Potentially not. That being said, he has done it before, albeit many years ago. So, do I think it's far-fetched? Potentially. Hold on, I may disconnect in a bit. Wait. Okay, we should be good. So, Weatherspoon, Tucker, Bacon, Moore, and Caboclo. Bruno Caboclo is playing for this team. There's no way. Well, here we go. First quarter action of this preseason encounter between the Israeli outfit Maccabi and the Nets. Cam Thomas will start with Mikal, Ben Simmons. Mikal Bridges is the 4. Harry Giles is the 5. Mikal Bridges, as we just said, Dinwiddie, Cam Thomas. So we're running 3 guards in this game, which is a bold call. Given we have Dorian Finney-Smith and Royce O'Neal on the bench, so you would have liked a little bit more size, but I guess there's time to experiment. There's a lot of time to experiment, and there's not much on the line. There's not much at stake, so you can afford to do stuff like this. See if you get exposed, fix things on the fly, and happy days if you do resolve that pretty quickly. So here we go. And so it's going to be Maccabi in blue. That's Dwayne Bacon. Bro, he torched us on when he was playing for Charlotte one game, I could swear. So yeah, there's a couple familiar looking faces on the opposition, but the Nets will be playing in white and the opposition, Maccabi, will be playing in blue. Alrighty. So, Caboclo and Harry Giles in the jump ball. And we're underway, ladies and gentlemen. Dinwiddie with the ball. The handoff to Mikal, across court to Simmons, into the paint. The kick out for Bridges, on the catch, and it rims out in the rebound by Maccabi. So we're underway. Weatherspoon, I believe, played for the Nets Summer League team last season. So that's why he looks familiar. Maccabi shoot from the elbow, and they are in front. And gee, they're loud. You can tell there's a bit of a presence in the Barclays Center. Cam Thomas to Bridges. And now Giles will set the screen. Shoots the 2-over-3. And Giles was there. Obviously, they committed to contesting the Mikal shot, but that meant no presence under the basket for Maccabi. So now Tucker on the catch and shoot 3. That is good over Cam Thomas. They are loud. They are really loud. Cam Thomas to Giles. The handoff back to Thomas. Good bit of hesitation. The baseline jumper is good. And obviously that's what Cam Thomas can do. So now Weatherspoon on the outside. Wow, that is a pretty audacious, is that the word? Audacious 3-point attempt? I don't think that's the correct word, but you know what, we can experiment. Just like the players are experimenting with their game, I can experiment a little bit with my commentary. So it looks like the reason for that foul was because Ben Simmons had a mismatch under the basket. He's going to get it now from the inbounds. And they're going to look for Dinwiddie. No, they're not. Ben eventually gets it to Dinwiddie on the wing. The bounce pass to Ben. Ben was held as he was going to roll to the basket. The pass was perfectly positioned. Ben just didn't get to it because of the hold. We're going to get a foul on the floor. with 10-12 to play. With Maccabi possessing the lead early. And now Thomas will resume proceedings. Maneuvers through. We've got a moving screen on Giles, and it's going the other way. So, an early 2 points for Giles, but also that personal right there. So, a turnover for the Nets. That'll be their first one for the night. And Weatherspoon will now bring the ball up for Maccabi. Ben! Well done! Ben scores an easy 2. Absolutely brilliant by Ben. Good anticipation. Read the pass, the length. Helped him to pick up that steal before Maccabi really even got into offense. Weatherspoon, we went under the screen, and that was a pretty big problem. Probably the biggest reason why we conceded 129 points and 23 pointers in that. So, Ben, that's an interesting sort of shot by Ben. He missed it. Cam Thomas for 3 after the ball fortuitously ended up in his lap. Bacon into the paint. Pass and a very good cut by Weatherspoon. So, they're finding ways to score early. Ben into the paint. Gets in there and scores for 2. Wasn't doing that last year, and he scored his first bucket of the game. And so we've got some good offense early. Weatherspoon, bounce pass. Giles can't gather it, and 2 points off the window for Caboclo. That I can confirm is not Bruno Caboclo, cult hero. Ben. Now Cam Thomas, the step back mid-range. That is long. The rebound by Giles. And the kick out to Ben, who will hold with 8 to go. He's going to spin. Lost it. Eventually got it back, and he found Bridges in the corner, who knocked down the 3. This is a pretty fast start by both sides on offense. Both teams making their shots and being smart in offense. Defenses probably need to lift. Weatherspoon will hand it off. Another handoff at the elbow. Tucker. And Giles is going to get pinged for a defensive 3-second call. So it's going to be a shot and the ball for Maccabi. I've got to get the chat up. So the free throw by Weatherspoon is good. And they've been pretty flawless on offense thus far. Play resumes, and the ball's gone out of play. Let me know if the chat is... It's buffering. Is it buffering or no? We've scored 2 again. Whoops. Let me know if it's fine or it's shitting itself. I've got to, I don't know. I thought I fixed the connection. That's weird. Thomas into the paint. Oh, wow. The little bunny rimmed out. And it will be Nets ball. Maccabi weren't able to secure the rebound, so it's going to be a couple of, well, an extra possession for the Nets. Thomas looking for a possible person to inbound the ball to, and now Giles to Bridges. He's going to shoot over the top, miss the mid-range, and Maccabi hustle for the rebound in transition. The pass to Bacon, top of the key over Giles. It's off. Well done by Ben to slap it to another net, and now in transition, he's looking. Picks up his dribble, and now Cam to Spence on the catch. That is long. The rebound by Giles, and we go again through Ben. Ben, is he going to drive it? Yes, he backs down the defender. The kick out. Thomas lost his dribble. Gave it to Giles, and now the turnaround on the baseline is good. That's a pretty classy shot by Harry Giles. I didn't know he had that in his bag. I said that for the last game, and I will say it again. So now Bacon scores the 2. They're finding ways to score, and you got to give him credit for that. Dinwiddie, the 3 is good. And Ben got us into early offense. I think that shot was let go at about 17 seconds. So 21-15 the score. Weatherspoon to respond, that's off. And the rebound by Bridges. Now Ben did well to spin and ensure the turnover wasn't possible. The block by Caboclo. And now we go the other way. Bacon wide open in transition. That's good. And no one wants to call a timeout at this point in time. So it seems 39 points in just over a quarter between both teams. Ben, the nice spin move. He didn't get the roll, and Giles wasn't able to latch onto the rebound. So Maccabi can tie or take the lead. They go for the 3, and it's off. Bridges with the board. And he's going to get pinged for the offensive foul. I was going to say he's going to try to get into early offense. And he did do that. But he also elbowed a bloke in the face. So, yeah. In just trying to get by the defender, he was a little bit careless with the elbow. So, we've got a timeout. An early time... Well, not an early timeout. We've already exceeded halfway into this first quarter. It is 21-18. Is Milwaukee the monster team of the East? I would 100% agree. Oh, actually, the Celtics and the Bucks are pretty level pegging. ESPN dropped their top 100 players for the 23-24 season. It's disgusting. Yeah, those lists are not exactly a great gauge of anything, to be quite honest, except perhaps the agendas being set. Kyrie Irving, you don't want me to talk about him great or good, but hey, he should not be number 34 on the top 100 list. I don't care what anyone says. Kawhi Leonard at like 24. If we're basing it off the fact that they haven't been playing or barely play, then why is Victor Wembanyama in the top 50? That guy's in the top 50 and he hasn't played a minute, dude. Let me know if the connection is just fine now. Because, yeah, I was a bit unsure as to why it's, well, taking the piss a little bit, to be quite honest. I don't know why it was buffering before. Let me know if it's all good. But, the box score, if I can actually get it up. Why is it doing this? Let me get to the box score. There we go. Wow. Okay, it's gonna play up a little, isn't it? Can I please pause this? Thank you. Okay, so it's a little bit... Wow. I don't know why it's showing all the players. Is that actually Bruno Caboclo? There's no way. We'll have a look at the Nets box score. You can see what we're looking at right now, what we're dealing with. Nearly every player on the board except, why does it say Cam Johnson? Bro, what is ESPN doing, man? Why does it have a 6th starter? Dude. The interns really not be doing their job. So, that's a little bit of a mare. If you are enjoying thus far, make sure to share your thoughts. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you'd like. We will be back for Nets Philly, so if you want to tune in for that, we'll be live right here from 10:30, I believe. If you're in Australia, basically the same time as when this game started. The push shot by Maccabi out of the timeout is off. Well defended by Cam Thomas and the Nets. Cam Thomas now will hand it off to Doe, who's in the game. Cam, good bit of hesitation. He's got the foul. And even though the Maccabi player did not bite on the pump fake, he did sort of run into him on that shot contest. So we will... I don't know what I was saying there. I just stuttered. Trying to say a word I didn't want to say. So Cam Thomas will be heading to the free throw line for 2 shots. It is 21-18. Cam Thomas, the first is good. And the lead is back out to 4. Diakite is in the game for Maccabi. There'd definitely be a few of those players with that surname running around. So, pretty good start by the Nets. Once again, the scoring is definitely not lacking. Second free throw is good. So Maccabi will bring it up with the deficit sitting at 5. Weatherspoon the high screen. High off the window, and Clowney is in the game playing backup minutes as we anticipated pre-game. Dinwiddie to Bridges in the corner for 3. That's off. Clowney with the board, and we'll reset. Dinwiddie bypasses the defender. The kick out to Bridges. Missed the reverse and the rebound by Maccabi. Good defense by them. And now, in transition, they'll leave it for Bacon, who's now picked up by Bridges. Diakite over Thomas. Whoo! Pretty fluent. Rebound by the Nets after an initial miss. And then a turnover. Weatherspoon able to rake it in. Bacon. Good contest by Clowney. But Maccabi recover and will go again. Diakite to Weatherspoon. And now the high screen into the paint. The Euro. And that's a bit of a wild layup attempt. Clowney is going to get called for the foul. That is a bailout. 0.8 seconds on the clock with 3:36 to play. It'll be 2 shots. And pretty decent stuff thus far by Maccabi as well. They're holding their own. Obviously, we are missing Claxton tonight. Cam Johnson, Derek Whitehead, and Dayron Sharp. So we're a little bit light on numbers at the backup big spot. But we haven't looked too phased by that. Weatherspoon is leading the points for Maccabi with 8. Cam Thomas goes to the bench. Bridges also goes to the bench. Weatherspoon makes both. And the 5 on the floor for the Nets. Dinwiddie, Royce O'Neal, Doe. And what is that defensive breakdown to leave Clowney right under the basket with like 20 seconds remaining in the shot clock? That is an absolute stinker of a defensive possession by Maccabi. So the lead is once again diminished, and it is tied at 25. Bacon, picked up by Dinwiddie, shoots over the top. It's pretty good defense, but Bacon knocks down the shot. And they're doing pretty well though, Maccabi, eh? I will say that. We've got Lonnie in the game. Excellent crossover. The dump off past the Clowney was blocked, and now Maccabi break out and transition again. The Euro by Caboclo. And they're up by 4. Oh! Alley-oop. Clowney gets it done. Walker with the feed. And we're getting some very early offense, but no answers on the defensive end. The Maccabi are really... Well, they know how to keep the scoreboard ticking. Once again, an easy score for Dwayne Bacon again. Royce the Euro. And we're going to get a goaltend. So, we cannot defend, which is not news to me given the first meeting. Not against this team, obviously. We conceded 34 points to the Lakers in the first quarter of that last game. Bacon picked up by Royce, and now the switch. Oh, wow, that's Bro, he can't miss. The bacon is cooking. To completely rip off what the commentator said, Royce to respond for 3. Nope, it hits back iron and the... Whoa, wow. Pretty good contesting by Dorian Finney-Smith. He forced a bit of a wayward tap by Maccabi, and we will have the ball following the timeout. As for the moment, we've got 33. Well, we've got 29 points. 33 to Maccabi. We will go to the box score. Let me know what player you want as the spotlight, to have the spotlight for today. I'm thinking we give it to... Well, I'm not really sure why it's... Why is it not updating? Bro, the intern's actually slacking a little bit. Okay, there we go. That's a lot better. You can see, look at this, man. They're shooting at 63%. That is pretty poor. And we're not shooting it abysmally, but we're playing pretty bang average, I will say. We've had 7 more shots and we're trailing. We've had already 6 offensive rebounds, as you can see here. The guy pioneering that is Harry Giles. All his rebounds have been offensive. Cam Thomas has 7, so he's leading the way like he did the other day, and Noah Clowney has 4 points off the bench. So, not too bad, but for the opposition, Weatherspoon's got 10, Bacon has got 11. So, we're the answers, bro. We need to answer, dude. Pretty pathetic stuff, I would say. Then again, obviously, Maccabi are playing for their country today. A little bit more meaning behind the matchup. So to come out here, prove themselves as a decent opponent, and obviously beat the Nets, that would be something worth celebrating. So yeah, I think I'm going to put the spotlight on Cam Thomas today, because, well, he had a pretty good game the other day, so I think it is probably fitting to put the spotlight on him today. Assists, he's got 1. He doesn't have 31. He's got 1, 2 rebounds, and he's got no steals. Let's go back. All right. So Mikal's had a pretty slow start. He's 2 of 8. Ben Simmons is 2 of 4, so not too bad. He's already got the 2 dimes as well. He's got the 1 steal. So that's pretty good. Pretty good as well. So Ben's off to a pretty bright start yet again. We return out of the timeout with the ball. Lonnie Walker is blitzed into the paint. Dump off pass to Clowney. They were looking for that earlier, and they find it this time. Clowney's got 6. So pretty good minutes as the backup big thus far, albeit as against somewhat easier opposition, I would say. Oh, God. That's a wide open 3. What are we doing, man? 36 points. My God. Doe in the corner. That rattles out. And a rebound by Maccabi. They can get the lead out to 7. The drive and kick. Royce fell for the pump fake, but they opted not to shoot it. And now, top of the key. It's going to be an offensive foul, but once again, Walker or Dennis Smith in that position to go under the screen. Go over the top of the screen, man. This defense should not be trying to, find shortcuts on the defensive side of the ball. We're good enough to play better than this. Dorian Finney-Smith on the catch for 3. It's good. And the lead's back down to 2. Very entertaining first quarter. Very entertaining first quarter. This isn't what I anticipated. We've had 9 3-pointers between both sides. Combined shooting at just a tick under 50%. 9 of 19 overall between both sides. We've got a tactical substitution by Maccabi. The Nets will roll the ball out to advance forward a little bit without time elapsing. Dennis Smith picks it up. Early three. Oh my God, what was that? Uh-oh. We have an injury, ladies and gentlemen. And to make matters worse and compound the pain, they score a 3 in a 5-on-4. Dennis Smith is holding his ankle. For fuck's sake, man. For the second consecutive game, Dennis Smith, we've got an injury. This time it's Dennis Smith. Last game was Dayron Sharp. I would presume it's because he landed on the closeout. Yep. Literally because he landed on someone. Is that not a foul? Brother, he literally landed in the landing space. That's fucking bullshit. Or there was a guy in his landing space. That's how he got fucking injured. That's rubbish, mate. So, oh, for fuck's sake. Just another thing you don't want happening in a preseason game. That should clearly be... Oh, that is a joke, man. What rubbish. So, I mean, I'm not enjoying what I've just seen, but if you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like on it. And if you are new, subscribe if you want to stay tuned for when I go live next. Dinwiddie is going to hold for 1. We're in the position to do so. Down 5. Dinwiddie will hold at the logo. And we've got 4 others lining the baseline. Dinwiddie will drive and kick. Royce wide open for 3. That has to be a set play because that was pretty smart by the Nets. We manipulated the court well to find some space. But the shot was no good. And Maccabi lead after a 39-point first quarter. That is pretty bonkers. But it's equally disappointing on the Nets' part to concede 39 to this sort of opposition. So we look at the box score. And you will see for the Nets what kind of output we're receiving. No, we're not. We're not. Because once again, ESPN, I don't know what's going on here. It should be updating. It should be updating. I shouldn't have to click box score every time for it to refresh. You can see that they've got 2 players scoring, well, combining for 21, and then they've got 1 bloke off the bench. I don't know why the list is so long. They've got 2 other players combining for 14, so 35 of their points. Yeah, 35 of their points have come from 4 players. That's pretty nuts, and they're shooting it lights out. They've hit 6 threes, 14 of 22 overall, and have looked after the ball for the Nets. We've got 7 from Cam. Noah Clowney is second in that regard with 6. We're getting plenty of offensive rebounds. However, we're not shooting the ball nearly as well despite having 9 extra shots. We've actually made the same amount for having 9 extra shots. Made 2 less threes and made 1 less free throw. So it's pretty clear what the problem is here. As it was last game, we can't defend. Way too easy getting to the cup and getting those open looks, getting into the spots they want to, well, essentially play in. We're permitting them to do that. So not ideal, to be quite honest. But you know what, it is what it is. It's preseason. I'd rather this shit happens now than happens, you know, in a game where it actually counts towards our record. Let me go back to the chat. There we go. So Dennis Smith, in case you missed it, is Well, he's gone down to the locker room because he's landed on someone's foot as they closed out on a three-pointer. So that's one of the ones you can't avoid, but you probably should be protected from, because the referee should be doing something about that. Instead, they just rushed right over it. Maccabi, return with a missed layup opportunity there. Dinwiddie in transition gives it back to Royce. He didn't want it, and Royce knocks down the three. He didn't disappoint. If you're going to hand off the responsibility to someone else, best believe they need to knock down the three-point shot, and Royce did that. Did us proud. Now, Maccabi down the middle. Shoots over the top, and Clowney was sagging off. Bit of drop coverage there. However, in doing so, allowed a wide-open floater. And Maccabi get the lead back out to 4. So now Lonnie Walker will give it to Dinwiddie. And now he'll look for Walker, who shoots the 3, contested. And that's a fluent three-pointer. So that's our 6th three-pointer. And with that, the lead is back down to 1. The cross lost the defender, but the miss occurs, and now the Nets can retake the lead. Walker will leave it for Dinwiddie, who is at the logo. Into the paint. Dinwiddie, extra feed, and we're finding a bit of success with the pick and roll there. Maccabi don't know whether to commit to the driver or the guy that's rolling to the hoop. And now Clowney is leading the Nets for scoring in this game, which is pretty unprecedented. Maccabi respond. And back in front. So now Lonnie Walker. Bit of a slip screen. Walker to the basket. And we're going to get another goaltend. Let's have a look at this one. Nope, we're going to get a replay of the Clowney dump off. So 10 minutes to play, second quarter, and both teams already pushing 50. So pretty entertaining stuff. Second quarter, we've got Maccabi shooting 2, and he got it. Brother, what are we doing though, man? They have to sort themselves out with this drop coverage, man. Oh, never mind. We actually went over the screen that time. So I guess that's probably what we want. But you've got to try stay in front of them. I guess that's speaking volumes, though, of, you know, the kind of screen that they set. You know, a good effective screen will permit the shooter to get space like that. And Siggers will score the free throw to, you know, get the and one opportunity converted, and the lead for Maccabi is back up to 2. Baisley is in the game. He's going to drive and cross, get into the paint. The high arcing 2 is off, but we get the long rebound after Finney-Smith back-tapped it. Royce extra feed to Dinwiddie. Top of the key is good. And that's what you're going to see if Spencer Dinwiddie is facilitating less. You're going to get these catch-and-shoot threes, and Spencer Dinwiddie has benefited in preseason from getting these kinds of looks. That's his second 3 of the game. Tucker over the outstretched arm of Baisley. It's off. Dinwiddie got the rebound. And then the fading 3 is off. Early offense, but he's going to get 3 shots. So pretty good. We're pushing the pace. Dwayne Bacon is killing the Nets right now. Best believe. Is that even the correct words to say? I don't even know, but you're right. 100%. The guy is just getting what he wants at the moment. So that is the second player that has become a casualty, courtesy of the Siggers closeout. Dennis Smith is down in the locker room because the closeout was rash, and then this one, which didn't result in injury, actually got called. So obviously setting a new precedent. Dinwiddie makes all 3 at the line, and the Nets are the first team to 50. So with Bacon on the bench, Jesus Christ! Whew! That is an uncalled for 3-pointer, dude. How is he making that shit? Baisley's playing small ball 5 minutes at the moment. Royce into the paint down the middle. Off the window, it's off. Royce. Good rebound, Baisley. Walker for 3 in the corner. The quick response. It is an absolute shootout at the moment. Cross. Maccabi. They're looking for Caboclo in the post because Royce is heavily mismatched. Good defense, Baisley. Caboclo backs down Royce, and Royce strips him of the ball. It will be Maccabi ball, but with limited time to get it off. And, wow, this is... I mean, if you can get a defensive stop, then you're winning it. You're winning at life at the moment, at least in this game, because right now, that's the difference between two teams. Whoever starts getting stops first is going to be the team that breaks away with the dub in this game. We'll go to the box score and just see what's up there. You can see, if you squint at the screen or you've got 20/20 vision, Cam Thomas is 7. But the leading scorer in this game, brother, it's not updating. I have to literally repress box score every time to update the screen. How? This is not going to work in the regular season, is it? You can see Maccabi, bro, they're shooting 7 of 14. That is just uncalled for. From 3 and 60% overall. 8 points for Tucker. 8 points off the bench for Diakite. And they've got Weatherspoon and Bacon in the starting lineup doing a really good job. But then you look at the Nets and you can see Spencer Dinwiddie, 2 3-pointers, and also got fouled on another 3. So he's the one leading the scoring for the Nets. But Lonnie Walker hasn't missed with 8. And Noah Clowney has shot the ball pretty efficiently as well. He's 4-5 from the field, and he's got 2 rebounds as well. So offense, once again, not lacking at all. 9 offensive rebounds, that's a good sign. Gotten to the line. 3-point shooting and shooting from the field is pretty good. We've had 10 more shots than them, which is why only having a 4-point lead is pretty frustrating because our defense is so whack. If we were actually putting them to the sword because we were playing good defense, then I think we'd be in the clear. Interesting to see that we haven't seen any activity from Trendon Watford, Jalen Wilson, or Armani Brooks this evening, or if you're in Australia this morning. Trendon Watford was really good in his little cameo the other day. So it's yeah, it's a pretty intriguing dynamic we've got going on with this roster. I will say that if you are enjoying the stream, you know what to do. Make sure to drop a like on it, and share it around as well. You know, if like I want to grow this little community, so let's get it growing. Let's get it growing, you know. Because last year we had some really good games where the chat was just going absolutely ballistic when KD was knocking down shots. Well done by Lonnie Walker, who read the little cut down the middle by Maccabi. Oh wow, one-man offense. A little rim grazer almost. His head was aligned with the same level of the rim. So fair bit of elevation there by Walker. I think his athleticism is pretty well publicized. Baisley gets the rebound. Early offense again. Euro. Loopy kick out to Dinwiddie. Now Walker in the corner. Drive. The scoop. Oh, the soft touch for 2. Walker is cooking. He has not missed. The Nets have gone on a 13-3 run in 2 minutes. And now, Maccabi, another turnover. Royce does well to deny it this time. We get it ahead. Baisley picks up his dribble, and we slow it down. Oh, Walker's feeling it. Ah, it's off. Back tap by Baisley. Never mind. We've got a foul. And it's on Baisley. I would assume it's in the contest for the rebound. So it's going to be Maccabi ball with 7:23 remaining in the second period. Lonnie Walker scored all his points in the quarter, so a very Cam Thomas-esque kind of second quarter performance, if you will. Oh, that pass is to absolutely no one. Maccabi were looking for a pass on the perimeter, but a bit of miscommunication by who they were looking for, who had started cutting to the basket, so it was just a throwaway to the first row. So the Nets starting to get stops, gradually seeping more into the game is this defensive kind of identity that we are supposed to pride ourselves off. Finney-Smith puts the ball on the floor. Simmons to the corner for Baisley. Gonna back down Wiggins, that's his name. Baisley the spin. Wow, he got blocked, but Ben, brother, shoot it! Bridges! How has he hit that? What an absolute prayer with like 1 second on the clock. Ben just needed to put up a hook shot, but he's disadvantaged Bridges. It didn't matter in the end, but you don't feel like we're going to be so lucky in the regular season. Bacon to the corner. 3 by Caboclo is an air ball. Simmons, he's going to push the pace. Transition, buckets, baby. Corner 3, Doe! It's off. Baisley fought for the rebound, and Maccabi will end up securing it. Wiggins, we got a kick ball, but Bridges did well to deny the ball into the restricted area. But it's very fast-paced, this second quarter. We've already got 60. So Ben looking a bit more like his old self with that pace in transition. Maccabi will resume proceedings from the side. High screen set. Drive. Baisley doing well to stay with. And he forces the pass back out to Bacon, who's been very good for them. To the corner now. We got it out of Bacon's hands. Well done, Baisley. And we got a shot clock violation, so another excellent defensive possession. And Jacques Vaughn would be very content with how things are developing in this second quarter. Exactly what we would be looking for in a second quarter type performance, especially after shipping off so many points in the first quarter. Ben leaves it for Royce. That's a pretty good pass to him. Pretty smart play, but Royce couldn't use that Ben screen and capitalize on it. Bacon picked up by Royce. Screen set. Good rotation over. The layup was blown, but Maccabi puts it back in through Caboclo. So it's 60-51. Ben Simmons, one-on-one. Bounce pass. Doe with the cut. And the bucket for 2. The throwdown. More early offense. It doesn't really look like we want to be hanging around for too long with every offensive possession we play. We want to have it done with before half of the shot clock even elapses. That Bacon 3 is contested well. And once again, a net transition possession. Baisley, the kick out. We have an open man. They double teamed the driver. Bridges for 3. It's good. 4:50 to play. Second quarter, the lead is ballooned to 14. And it's been on the back of the defense. It's really that simple. Maccabi have only scored 1 3 this quarter on terrible efficiency. They got the rebound after that 3-point miss, and they score for 2. So the lead is back down to 12 with 4:26 to play. Ben will bring the ball up. Honestly, take a shot, Ben. Spin move. He backs him down. The fadeaway jumper is good. Yes, sir! Woo! That gets me G'd up, honestly. Ben Simmons scoring fadeaway 2s. Thank you very much. Now Bacon. The switch. He's got Baisley on him, who's provided some good defensive minutes here. The kick out is forced. And the three is well to the left. The rebound by Ben. Spin move. Gets it ahead. And it was the right pass. Looking for Bridges. However, it was deflected out of play before the pass could be transferred across. That's a nice little fadeaway, Ben. Those are the ones you see in training videos. And we got a foul before the ball, one dribble was taken. So Ben in this game, 6 points, 3 boards, 4 assists. Pretty positive performance thus far by Ben. He's going to get it again in the corner, right in front of the Nets bench. Skip past the Cam Thomas on the other end of the floor. It's off. Giles tried the putback, but he was a little bit too overzealous on that play. In pursuit, he went over the back, and it will go the other way for Maccabi. So Giles, Thomas, Simmons, Bridges, O'Neal, the 5 on the floor. So starting 5, excluding Dinwiddie. Cam Thomas out to Royce. Ben top of the key. Pass to Bridges in the corner. That's off. The long rebound by Maccabi. The pass to Bacon. He's got Ben on him. The kick out back. Oh, wow. What a cross. Kick out. Passing along the perimeter. 3-pointer. The rainbow jumper's off. Ben. That pass was a little bit too crazy. But luckily, via a little bit of fortune, it is going to be Nets ball after the timeout. So, wow, this game has been... I mean, you haven't really had time to take a breath, to be honest. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe if you are new as well. I will have a look at the chat in just a second, just to see what any of you are saying, if you are saying anything. Let's have a look at the box score real quick. You can see, well, once again, hasn't updated. God damn it, dude. We've scored 33 points this quarter already, which is pretty nuts. Caboclo's got 6. Weatherspoon and Bacon doing well, but they have not scored in this quarter. Probably because they've had a little bit more restriction in terms of the kinds of minutes they've played. And then off the bench, you've had a couple players score 8 points for them. So, yeah, that's basically what's going on there. But their shooting has deteriorated as the game has worn on, and the rebounds aren't necessarily picking up. The turnovers are also picking up, though, which is not a good sign for them. For the Nets, we've had Mikal shoot the most shots, which is probably what you want. He's got 11. However, the leading scorer for the Nets is Lonnie Walker with 12 off the bench. And then you've got Noah Clowney with 8 chipping in there. And Darius Baisley, despite not scoring, he's had a very good defensive impact because he's a plus 16 in 6 minutes. And Royce O'Neal, Dorian Finney-Smith, Lonnie Walker, you can see the kinds of players that have been really contributing to having this luxurious 12-point lead that we currently possess. We've hit 10 threes in the first half. We're shooting 50% overall. Absolutely can't complain. I don't think we've had a turnover in this quarter as well. I would sense that this sets up the path for Jalen Wilson, Trenton Watt for minutes in the second half. I'm losing my voice already. But the really good sign is 16 dimes already. Dinwiddie's leading the way in that department despite having 3 3-pointers of his own. And we've also had 10 offensive rebounds, which is an excellent stat considering we are pretty depleted in that regard this evening in terms of the kind of, the kind of player we're missing tonight. In case you missed it, no Claxton, no Dayron Sharp, no Cam Johnson, no Derek Whitehead. Derek Whitehead probably would get minutes, but is obviously not a center. And Cam Johnson isn't either, so... Yeah. Cam Thomas, Ben, what a drive. Extra feed. The dump off is excellent. And 2 points for Harry Giles. That is number 5. Assist number 5 for Ben. And it all starts because Ben was rapid on the drive. Maccabi couldn't really adjust, and you know, you can manipulate the defense when that happens. Giles, Royce. Gonna give it to Ben. In the all-reliable hands of Ben Simmons, Cam Thomas at the elbow. Good bit of hesitation. The 2 sat on the rim and did not want to go down, so Maccabi can trim it to single figures or 10. Bacon, the 2, and it rattles out. The rebound was unconvincing. It's probably not going to be Nets ball. Excellent no-look by Ben a couple possessions ago to get it to Giles for the dunk. So 69-57 the score. 1:57 to play. Second quarter. Very entertaining half of basketball. Not short of entertainment. Kick out. Bacon. Spin move. And he ran out of time. Excellent rotation by the Nets. You know, trimming off, you know, those vital milliseconds at the back end of the possession. Especially that spin move. If he doesn't do the spin move, he probably gets the shot up. He had to do the spin move because we rotated across well. Thomas, Bridges, high screen, Giles. Bridges, Ben, through the legs to Royce in the corner. He's got to shoot it. And it wasn't telegraphed well for Ben, who they were looking for. It would have actually probably promoted a mid-range shot if they got it there. It will be Nets ball on the side with 2.1 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Ben will trigger in. Royce, ball fake, wide open 3. It was a good look. Giles, good fight on the glass. And it's going to be Nets ball. We reset for 14. Harry Giles, I mean, he's only 25 years of age, this guy. I think he's doing well to prove his worth here. Weatherspoon is back in. The pass to Giles, and now Bridges at the elbow. He's going to back down the defender. Turn around 2, and he gets the roll, the soft bounce off the rim. So 71-57. The offense has slowed down for both sides. Weatherspoon over the top of Thomas. That is off. The rebound by Ben. We push the pace. He gets by 1. Excellent pass to the corner. Bridges again for 3. It's good. And mate, Ben Simmons carrying the ball with pace is allowing those corner threes for Mikal. I did say it in my season preview. And then Ben nearly was able to intercept the pass again that Maccabi were trying to do in order to sort of get a little bit of offense going. But Ben doing well again to interrupt and interfere. So, I don't know why my voice was so shaky there. That's the good thing. Like, Mikal isn't going to be the guy that actually takes it to the cup. He's going to be the guy with, you know, looking for those spaces in the corners to get the threes off. We've got a foul. I don't know who that's on. So 8 seconds. Nope, it's a reset to 14 for Maccabi. With 29 seconds to play in the second period. 74-57 the score. And Maccabi will inbound it. They're not going to 2-for-1 it. Not enough time to do that. Looking for the best shot available. There it is. And it is indeed the best shot available because the three-pointer is made. So 74-60. Nearly identical to the first half scoreline where we were trailing against the Lakers in game 1. Ben Simmons into the paint, looking for the pass. At that point, you have to just go for the shot. So 0.7 to play. Ball is inbounded. They get it ahead. What is this? Open three. The shot was scored, but it is not going to count, and that is half time. It is 74 to 60. And it is, well, first quarter was purely offense. The second quarter, the defense started to kick in for the Nets. We conceded 39 points in the first quarter. We ended up only conceding 21 in the second, but were able to continue our offensive ways. We scored 40 in the quarter, which is obviously an excellent sign. Obviously, different opposition, less pressure, not much to play for. But you do like to see good methods with the way in which you're trying to get open looks, and we've done a pretty excellent job, you know, to ensure that that happens, you know? So yeah, that is the half. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe as well. If you are enjoying the commentary, the play-by-play, the graphics, just the whole experience in general, let me know if you are enjoying it, because that is, of course, one of the most important things. That's why I do it. If you're not enjoying it, well, then it's sort of counterproductive. But let's have a look at the box score. Ladies and gents, it is not currently updated because ESPN is being a bit of a prick right now. But in that half, we outscored them by 19, which is why we have a pretty sizable lead. Let me just get the... Okay, yeah. So, as you can see, they are getting some good output from their starting lineup. And they've also had a couple scorers off the bench just go a little bit bonkers. But you can see first quarter they were shooting something along the lines of like a 60-50 split. In the second quarter, they barely got to the free throw line, and, well, you can see what's resulted as well. The defense is lifted by our team. And obviously the scoreline shows that. A few more turnovers seeping into their game, tougher shots. We just look a little bit more defensively engaged. The rotations are much better. If we look at the Nets, you can see the offense is fluent. Mikal Bridges with 16 is doing very well. He started off a bit slowly, but he's made 4 of his last 5 shots. He's got 16 overall, leading the way for the Nets. But you can see off the bench, Lonnie Walker in 8 second quarter minutes scored 12, and Noah Clowney has scored 8 points, which is pretty good for a rookie who showed, well, not a lot of good signs in Summer League, I will say that. But that aside, the wings, Dorian Finney-Smith and Royce O'Neal probably need to lift their game because they are shooting it like trash. Voice crack. Yep. Ben Simmons has been really good. He's probably on pace for a triple-double if he played the rest of the way. I don't know if that's going to be the mentality and the attitude by Jacques Vaughn to do that. But, you know, I think he's played a really, really good game. No turnovers in there. No personal fouls. He's done nothing but good things again. Just really maximizing those shallow, the turnovers, maximizing the misses, really getting to early offense and sending some, you know, telegraphing some really long, you know, passes across the court, down the sidelines, essentially, and really finding those wide open shooters in the corners, which is usually players like Mikal Bridges. Spencer Dinwiddie has been the beneficiary a couple of times as well. And I think it can't be understated what Darius Baisley was doing as well in 6 minutes. Didn't score, but got some important rebounds, because when you're forcing misses, obviously you don't want to let him off the hook with offensive rebounds and potentially better looks involved within that. So for him to, you know, get 4 rebounds, be a plus 16, be a part of that group that really got us this lead, I think that's important as well. Playing small ball 5 isn't easy because you have to knock down your shots. And even though he didn't score, he's had a pretty good impact. So that's a pretty good sign. So that's the halftime break. For you all, 74-60 the scoreline. So there you go. Pretty good. If you are enjoying, you know what to do. So yeah, that's what we're dealing with, thus far. Pretty happy with what we're delivering. Do want to see, though, what the extent is with regards to that Dennis Smith injury. In case you missed it, Dennis Smith Jr. did go down with an injury, an ankle. Unfortunately, one of the Maccabi players decided to jump into the landing room as Dennis Smith tried to convert a 2-for-1 in the first quarter. And, he did not benefit too well from it. Let's just say that. So, yeah. He won't return to the game, which is clearly expected. So that's two players that have become casualties because of ankle injuries in the first two preseason games, which if that's a sign of things to come, well, I'm not going to be too impressed. But it is what it is. But the offense has looked pretty good. The defense has lifted even without him in the team, so I'm pretty happy with what is transpiring, I guess. Yeah. But share your thoughts from the opening half. What do you think? What do you think about the defense? What do you think about our tactics and our play? If you're watching the game, if you haven't watched the game, if you're just looking off face value from what I'm saying and what the stats would suggest, let me know what you're thinking as well. Ben Simmons' playmaking, though, it has been superb. Very, very good. There was that one drive he had where it was very dynamic, very quick. It wasn't hesitant. He showed conviction in that drive, and because it was so fast, Maccabi players tried to flood the interior and stop him. But then we had, I think it was Harry Giles or Noah Clowney. I think it was Harry Giles there to be there to receive the dump-off pass. So Ben doing that sort of stuff is just, it makes it so much easier for the offense because you're attracting more players. You're looking more formidable. When they see a pacey 6'10" point forward driving to the cup, your first instinct is to stop the run. But little do you know that if you've got two players committing to Ben, there's going to be an extra man somewhere. And that no-look dump-off pass was excellent stuff. And he hit a mid-range fadeaway as well. That's something to remember as well. He that turnaround too that he consistently practices in training, it actually came to fruition, and I've actually got proof of him doing that in the game, albeit against Maccabi. So, yeah, that's what you want to see. So, if he can do that more often, oh, happy days, mate. Happy days. So, yeah. But honestly, I'm pretty feeling pretty optimistic with what I'm seeing thus far from Ben. Mikal Bridges had a pretty shit game last game, but he's looking very, very good today. And he's probably benefiting from those defensive stops we are getting, especially in that second quarter. That's where he really heated up, and it's no coincidence why. Voice crack again. I probably should. I think I need to take a little sip of water because, brother, I think I'm dying out here. I'm in the trenches. My voice is in the trenches. Commentating a game like this, the play happens so quickly that it's so difficult to, keep up. So, probably should take a few more sips of water throughout the second half. But, yeah. It is good to see, though. Ben looks different. Like a completely different player, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not saying we're embarking on or when we're witnessing a resurgence story, but it's obviously very positive to see what we're seeing, you know, from Ben. A better Ben, like, is better than a shit Ben. It's that simple. He has more bearing on the team than you possibly think. It would have been great to see Ben actually operating with KD and Kyrie when they were on the team, because I think, well, if Ben was fit and firing, wow, that would have been a team to stop, especially given we had an 18-2 stretch. 18 wins, 2 losses, of course. So, yeah, I mean, it's only preseason, but it's preseason. You can go glass half empty and say, well, it's preseason, you're playing Maccabi, it's an opposition that isn't really trying. I would argue differently. They are trying. They look like they have something to play for, which is valid, considering what's going on in the world. But you can probably discount what he's doing because of the opposition, but you can also go the other way and say, well, he's doing it against an opposition. We're this close to preseason or to the regular season, and he looks like he's holding a fair level of confidence, definitely more confident than he was last preseason. So I'm feeling really optimistic about that. But we do have some new viewers in chat as well, which is great to see. So introduce yourselves if you're new. And also, yeah, I mean, I probably should take the time to let you know that we are doing a Nets watch along next week for Nets Philadelphia. So if you want to tune in for the watch party, talk to other Nets fans, that sort of thing, make sure to drop by, essentially. And we will be doing basically the same thing all year round. I hope you like the new graphics that I've put together. Do think it's a lot more refined than it was last season. It looked a little bit more amateurish last year, but I do think this year it looks a lot better. In terms of there's a little bit more depth and detail to it, which obviously you want to improve over time. So I think it's good that we've got that going with the streams. But it's all about having the people to witness and enjoy it. So the more people we get in this chat, the better. It's not just benefiting me. I just want people to talk to with regards to Nets games, because you don't find too many of them in Australia. You do find a lot of basketball fans, but you don't find a lot of Nets fans, especially now that KD and Kyrie are off the team. It would indicate a lot less interest outside of New York. So there are followers. It's just a little bit tougher to come by. So, yeah, if you want a place where you find a little bit of refuge, this is the place to be, I can say. But if you are enjoying the stream, you know what to do. Yeah. So it's, I mean, we can probably just have a little look around the grounds as well. It's a lot about trying to find a way to fill a fair bit of time in this little break that we have here. The first game of the season is against Cleveland. It's on the 26th of this month. We won't be doing that, but we will be doing the Dallas game on the 28th. That'll be a game obviously involving Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. It's going to be a colossal task, but that'll be the first watch-along of the season. So I look forward to that, and then from there on out, we'll have streams for Charlotte, Miami, Chicago, and Boston, I believe. I would assume. Usually, the majority of the games I can do. It's just a matter of whether I'm actually present or not. If I'm at my desk, best believe I'll be streaming the games, and we can enjoy some great moments with this team this year. It's a very unique sort of team, and it gives very similar vibes of that 2018-19 roster, which was very up in the air. What could the team contribute? I think we were coming off like a 35-win season or a 33-win season. So there wasn't really expectation that we were going to win. I think it was like 42 games that year. and make the playoffs as a 6 seed. But like that whole vibe of the season, like I remember watching games in my lounge room. You know, I was hooking my laptop up to the TV via HDMI cable. It was so like, I mean, when you're younger, you just want to watch the game. It doesn't really matter how. So, yeah, and I remember doing victory laps around my house as like Joe Harris was hitting threes in double overtime or something like that. So, we've come a long way since then. I will say that. But yeah, no, it's going to be an interesting year. A lot of players with chips on their shoulders, you know, and players that I haven't really like. It's good rooting for a team that looks very different, because a lot of these players, like, you don't really understand what they're capable of, because you don't really pay much attention to the teams that they played for last year. Like, yeah, you get what I mean. Ben Simmons, good hustle, mate. Chasing after it, and it's going to be Maccabi ball, but Ben has forced Maccabi into the backcourt, and they never really got a pass going in that, well, in the first 14 seconds of the shot clock, so they've got only 10 to shoot. Weatherspoon into the paint, good move, and then he just passed it away and passed up a wide open layup. It's a 3-on-2. Bridges is open in the corner in transition. It's off, and the rebound by Maccabi. So we're back for the third quarter. Bacon, corner, good ball fake, but a travel, and there was a good opportunity there for a 2. So 2 possessions, 2 good opportunities for Maccabi to get their offense going in this third quarter. So the ball is inbounded, and now Spencer Dinwiddie will bring the ball up for the Nets. The score is 74-60, as it was at halftime. Ben Simmons is going to look for the pass. Bit of off-ball movement, but instead he's going to go for the more predictable pass to Giles in the post. Good off-ball movement by Thomas. However, the wide-open 2 in the mid-range is off, and the rebound by Bacon for Maccabi. He was passed to the wing. Tucker on the catch. It looked online, but a little bit too long. Dinwiddie past the Simmons. Bridges in the paint over the top of Bacon. That is a tough shot. He does not get the bounce, and the rebound by Maccabi. So Weatherspoon will bring it up here for Maccabi. A good bit of hesitation there. We went under the screen. Dinwiddie has done that a lot in the 2 games I've witnessed, since we've opted to not switch on the pick and roll. Ben into the paint, muscles his way to the basket, gave it to Cam, the kick out. Bridges on the catch for 3. It's good. Yes, sir. And even though that wasn't as dynamic a pass by Ben Simmons, I mean, it opened up an opportunity for us to manipulate the defense and find the open man. But Maccabi, a quick response to cut the lead back down to 12. Ben, going to leave it for Mikal and set the screen for him. The drive, high off the window, no foul. Rebound Maccabi. Mikal wanted a foul, and he's very vocal with the ref on the way up. Meanwhile, Maccabi missed the 3, got the offensive board, missed the 2 off the window, and a rebound for the Nets. Cam Thomas now uses the screen a couple of times by Ben Simmons, who gets it now. He's going to back down Bacon, picks up his dribble. Giles, the little push shot, the hook shot, should I say. That was pretty appealing to the eye, that shot. And now Weatherspoon lost the ball, slightly disrupted. Giles, oh my God, what? So Giles is going to get pinged with the blocking foul. I thought he had set his feet. It was pretty heads up because he just got mowed down. I would assume he was in the restricted area. Nope, he was moving. So it's going to be 2 shots for Caboclo. I thought Caboclo was a wing. And I don't remember him being that big. I thought he was an absolute twig. Like, he actually looks very much built. So the 2 free throws by Caboclo are good. And so they've started off this third quarter pretty good on the defensive end, Maccabi. Mikal hasn't really gotten going. He hasn't really made a shot, I think. And now, a turnover by Ben, and a throwdown by Maccabi. However, the Nets respond. What's going on? As if. What is that bullshit? There was a delay of game by Maccabi. We had actually gotten it ahead and gotten an easy dunk for Harry Giles. That is the most rubbish call. At that point, you just pay advantage. I wish that was a rule in basketball. Actually, no, that'd probably be a bad idea. There's a foul by Weatherspoon, and now they're starting to rotate off a little bit and blitz a little bit more when we try to use the pick and roll. At the 8:31 mark, it's going to be Nets ball on the side. That is a foul by Weatherspoon, who came over to help Tucker, who was the defender there. So, Nets. Cam Thomas going to inbound to Bridges. Looking for Giles. There it is. And the alley-oop layup is good. Giles looking pretty good as a starting center. Pretty cohesive. Fitting in really well with the starting unit and just doing the right thing. Making the right plays. Maccabi respond off the window. Ben. Great pass to Bridges to his left. And another 3 knocked down on the wing for Mikal Bridges. Ben Simmons with the dime. It's what you love to see. Now Weatherspoon to Bacon to Weatherspoon. And now Maccabi will hand it off on the wing. Step back 2 was passed up for a better shot, which was a 3. That ended up being an air ball. And Nets will resume. Cam Thomas, drive, layup through contact was wild, and Maccabi recover. It's a 4-and-5 because Giles is still on the floor, and the layup is good. They recognized the gap in the defense because of, well, no man in the middle for that possession, and Maccabi cut it to 11. So they're sticking around. Stagnant offense here by the Nets. No movement. Dinwiddie for 3. He got it! The rainbow 3 from the corner. And off-ball Spencer is a different beast altogether. Weatherspoon, the high screen set by Maccabi. Into the paint. Oh, wow. Scores for 2. +1. At the 6:52 mark. And Weatherspoon is slow to get up. I think he got cleaned up by his own man. And let's have a look. Oh, he landed right into the legs of whoever their backup center is. But let's have a look at the box score because there's never any better of a time to check the box score than a timeout. You can see for the Nets, well, yet again, you can't actually see because it hasn't fucking updated. So triggering. 16 to Weatherspoon and 15 to Bacon. That's what we're really dealing with. It's like a two-headed monster. And then they've got 11 from Tucker off the bench, who's hit 3 threes. But they're shooting pretty good on the day. But where the difference is really being felt is A, in the rebounds, because we've had 11 of those. 3-point shooting's awesome. And then, you know, the lack of turnovers are really benefiting us. 23 assists as well. Ben Simmons, ladies and gentlemen, has 9 dimes to go with his 5 rebounds and 6 points. Harry Giles has been awesome. He's been excellent. 4 offensive boards, 5 of 6 from the field, 10 points and a steal. Mikal is leading the way, but Spencer Dinwiddie, off-ball Dinwiddie, not much usage, but knocking down shots pretty efficiently. He's 3 of 4 from beyond the arc, and he also got all 3 of his free throws because of a 3-point attempt. So he's been good. I say low usage, but he's had 6 dimes as well. So he's been a part of the ball movement, but he hasn't really taken too many touches. And Cam Thomas has been a little bit off his game today. He's been stranded on 7 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist ever since I put him on the player spotlight. So let me know if it's probably time to change the player spotlight. But you can also see off the bench Noah Clowney and Lonnie Walker combining for 20 on 9 of 11 shooting, which is very good efficiency as well. So, yeah, happy days. But if you are enjoying the stream, you know what to do. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you want to be around for more Nets Watch Along streams. Obviously, if you're enjoying the experience and you want to see more, let me know. It's time to change the spotlight. I agree. Who are we putting there? Hopefully it's not a curse. It doesn't serve like a commentator's curse. Who should we put there? Who should we put in the player spotlight? Man, Harry Giles was a top high school recruit. That's crazy, dude. And obviously had a crack at the Kings, but, you know, it didn't really eventuate over there. So I decide, you're not making it easy for me, are you? I don't want to put Ben Simmons because I put Ben Simmons last game. Interesting. I may put like Harry Giles up there or something. We've returned from the timeout and Weatherspoon nails the and 1 free throw. Ben gets us into early offense by sending it along the sideline again. However, the ball is passed back to him. Picked up his dribble, looking for the pass. Giles over the top, and he doesn't get the hook shot to go. So Maccabi to cut it to single digits. Weatherspoon from the outside. It is off, and the rebound by Giles. And now Ben will facilitate the offense. He's looking for Bridges in the post, but was well denied. And now Dinwiddie will have the high screen set for him by Giles. Dinwiddie the 3. He got it again! Dinwiddie is 4-5 from the outside. 90-76. Bacon. 3 top of the key. That is short. However, it's going to end up in the hands of Maccabi. Because the Nets were never able to secure the board. So we've got mass changes. No, we don't. We've only got Baisley checking into the contest for Giles. So some good minutes there. 3 to shoot. And they don't look remotely interested in scoring. They weren't even aware that the shot clock was expiring. They didn't even acknowledge or show any urgency in trying to get the shot off. So, pretty odd stuff there. But now Ben Simmons will leave it for Bridges, who shoots the 3, and that was a little bit of a wild attempt as the contest by Maccabi was solid. Bacon, picked up by Baisley, the switch. Good drive. Layup, didn't get the angle, and the rebound is eventually secured by the Nets off hands. Cam Thomas to Baisley, shoots the 3. Got it! Yes, sir! 93-76. 5:07 to play, third quarter. That's his first bucket of the game. Bacon, cross, score over Baisley for 2. I didn't know he was about that. Baisley, Euro, good kick out, drew 2 defenders, Bridges off, Baisley with the board. Where's the size for Maccabi, man? Dinwiddie from way downtown. That's a Dinwiddie special right there. Well short on the 3-pointer. Bacon. Weatherspoon picked up by Thomas on the outside. You'd suspect there's going to be a little bit of help in the paint if he gets there. Instead, it's a very well-defended possession by Cam. Force the mid-range. Bend to the corner for Dinwiddie. It was a fairly wild shot. No look to Thomas in the other corner. Back out to Dinwiddie. Bridges is open. The Euro is off, but we're going to get 2 shots. Some excellent ball movement there. When they're keeping me busy as a play-by-play caller, you know it's a good thing. Because the ball is absolutely pinging around the court and they're using the full dimensions of the court. What is going on? I don't know what's going on here. There's just players scattered all over the court at the moment for these free throws, but eventually they sort themselves out, and we've got Bridges shooting 2 at the free throw line, and the first rims out. And we have got the bench emptied for the Nets. So Armani Brooks, who was tasked with the game-tying shot on Monday against LA, he's in the game. Trenton Watford, who scored 10 points the other night, is also in the game. And Royce O'Neal returns. So no Dorian Finney-Smith. In case you missed it, the other Smith on this team, as Bridges makes the free throw, the other Smith on this team, Dennis Smith, got injured in the first quarter. The second casualty for the Nets when it comes to that exact injury in the second preseason game. A second preseason game. That is a deep 3 by Siggers. It's off. And the Nets will go the other way now through Brooks. Watford, who can facilitate. He had Baisley under the basket for a moment. Instead, there is going to be a foul on potentially the floor. And it will be Watford who is the beneficiary. So 94-78, 3:44 to go in the third quarter. Watford will head to the free throw line to shoot a couple of shots. Hope you're enjoying the stream, everyone. It's good to be back. It's good that the Nets season is back. It's always a good time when Nets basketball is on. Win or loss. So we've now got 5 players who are currently out of action. Claxton missed tonight with a sore left glute. Cam Johnson is out with a hamstring. Whitehead is out with a foot. And Dennis Smith and Dayron Sharp are out with ankle injuries that have been sustained in the 2 preseason games. Baisley picking up Siggers, top of the key. Watford came over to help, and that is probably a very soft foul, but it is going to be a foul nonetheless. I'm not 100% sure if we're going to see any more action from Ben Simmons or Mikal Bridges. Ben's been really good tonight. So is Mikal. I would like to see the momentum from this performance carry through to the last quarter, and then obviously they have that opportunity to close out the game with maybe 5 or so closing minutes, but you'd be stupid to jeopardize their health. Yeah, you'd be stupid to jeopardize their health if you're up like 20 on an Israeli opponent, you know what I'm saying, in a preseason game. So there's not much at stake. I don't think it would be a very smart idea, but then again, the Nets organization continue to surprise me sometimes. Watford is at the free throw line shooting a couple of shots at the 3:10 mark. He did have 7 free throws. 7 free throws in the Lakers preseason game, and he's already gone to the line for 4 free throws in about 2 minutes here. So good start for him. He actually scored 10 points or more in 12 of the final 14 games of the season. Here he is right on cue with the rebound. One-man offense, passes to the corner now. Finney-Smith is going to give up on the drive attempt. He's going to roll it back out. Royce, come on, we've got to do something here. Baisley drives to the cup, and that is just a wild layup attempt with, 2:36 to play in this in this third quarter, but we're going to get a timeout anyway. It's not going to matter. Let's hop over to the box score again, and let's actually change this player spotlight because it's not, I mean, Cam Thomas he literally hasn't done anything since I put him up there. Let's put Spencer Dinwiddie up there, actually. There's a lot of good performances you can take out of today's game. Let me just readjust this shit. Okay. So let's go. I'm not going to explain the box score at this point in time. I'm just going to leave it up so you can obviously take a look for yourself at whatever stats you want to look at while I change the elements, the stream elements. So we're going to fix it up. So Spencer Dinwiddie is the man I've selected. 15 points, pretty good game. 6 dimes, 3 rebounds, and that's it. Pretty good game though. By his standards, he's hit 4 3-pointers, and he's going at 3 of 3 from the line. That was also off a 3-pointer that he got fouled on. So overall, a pretty good showing by him. Amongst many other contributors, Harry Giles has been another good performer. Ben Simmons with 6, 6, and 9, and a steal as well. And Mikal Bridges is leading scorers with 23 points today. He's taken clearly the most shots out of any net, shooting the ball pretty well, gotten to the free throw line a fair bit. The offensive rebounds are strong. The assists are in abundance, and the turnovers are lacking, which is always a good sign. Maccabi started on fire, but the defense has picked up, and Maccabi they're not a good enough team. They don't have the personnel to sustain that. They don't have the class and quality to, sustain that over a 48-minute period. But they have had some good contributions by Dwayne Bacon and Quindary Weatherspoon, who are still shooting above 50%, even though, no one else has really picked up the slack. So the 20-point lead at the back end of this third quarter, 98-78 the scoreline, 2:36 to play. And in case you missed it, we have Dennis Smith out with injury this game due to a left ankle sprain. He landed on an Israeli player who had invaded the landing area on a 3-point attempt, so he is out. Same fate as Dayron Sharp last game. Mikal Bridges leading the scoring with 23. After the break, the 3-pointer by Maccabi is good. They cut it back down to 17, and Royce O'Neal will bring it up. The 5 on the floor for the Nets is Watford Royce, Darius Baisley, Finney Smith, and Armani Brooks. We've got a foul, and it's another foul. Trendon Watford is causing quite a few issues for the defense. That is another foul, and Watford is going to the free throw line again. This will be free throw 5 and 6, and he's been in the game for like 3 minutes. So he's been pretty good, and he can actually get the Nets over 100 points before we even get to three-quarter time here, but he is unsuccessful on free throw 1. We're going to have to wait a little while longer. Second free throw is good. Voice crack. Splits the pair, 99-81. 2 minutes to play, third quarter. High screen set. Cross. Maccabi. At the elbow, the 2 is Fluent and Swish. 99-83 the score, so they've scored a couple buckets on their last couple of possessions. That's what you want to see. Royce, the high screen by Baisley. Royce found the space, shot the 3. It's off, but Watford with a vital tap to give us another crack at it. And we've got another foul. And it's going to be 2 more shots for the Nets. So a little bit of stagnancy in our play, or just in the game generally. The life has sort of been sucked out of the game because obviously free throws take a fair while to complete, and they aren't the most, satisfying. They don't contribute to the most satisfying viewing experience. So 183, Royce makes the first free throw. If you are enjoying the stream, you know what to do. Make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe if you are new as well. We welcome all NBA fans, to be quite honest, but it obviously helps if you are a Nets fan. You can sort of sympathize a little bit more or relate a little bit more. Bazley gets the rebound. Thought about pushing the pace. In the end, slowed it down a little bit and will go into a half-court offense. Royce doesn't shoot the three. Well defended. Bazley going to shoot instead. That's off. Finney-Smith tried to chase up the rebound, but Maccabi end up with it. That's a good drive, but Finney-Smith with the block, and now Bazley will push the pace. The drive, and that was a very wild pass, so shallow in trying to kick it out. And now Maccabi will well and truly slow things down. They can go for a two for one here. The drive by Maccabi, the dribble is picked up, and that is a wild layup attempt, which actually, in hindsight, looked pretty good because they got the putback and scored. Oh my God, that is a huge three-pointer by Armani Brooks. Converts the 2 for 1, scoring that one from beyond 30 feet. And I guess he's capable of doing that. Pretty good in the G League from the outside. Obviously our two-way player, Armani Brooks. Maccabi, the bounce pass was potentially on offer, but the execution was not of the same level. And the Nets will hold for 1. And Watford will be doing the facilitating. He's going to drive, get into the paint. The layup off the window is no good. And that is going to be the third quarter after a wild full court attempt by whoever the hell. So that is three-quarter time. 104-85 the scoreline. And it's been a pretty solid third quarter by the Nets to go with their second quarter, which was also pretty good. That's where the leaders are risen. So we're going to have a crack at looking at the box score yet again. And yet again, I'm going to have to go into the box score and actually click the refresh button. So you can see that they've only got, well, amazingly, they've only got 3 players in double figures. I mean, it's probably because the list of players is so long that it makes it look like no one's done anything for this team. But amazingly, they do have 85 points shared around on this box score. But they just haven't really gotten enough of it. Like, their three-pointers, they started really well in the first quarter. I think they hit 5, but since then they've really struggled in that department. And the free throws haven't really come to compensate for that, or the offensive rebounds, and they've turned the ball over. So you're not doing yourself any favors there. And for the Nets, well, we're getting some good contributions. Armani Brooks just hit his first 3 of the game on the stroke of three-quarter time. Noah Clowney had a very good 8-minute stint in the first and second quarters with 8 of his own. And Darius Bazley is a team-high plus 21. He's got 3 offensive boards, the only double-digit rebounder in the game, I believe, for both sides. And Lonnie Walker had also an 8-minute period in the second quarter where he scored 12. So Jacques Vaughn is getting told a lot, and I would imagine it's making him hella confused because there's a lot of players that are proving their worth here. Harry Giles with 4 offensive boards, 10.6 boards overall, and 1 steal in 16 minutes of action, which is a pretty good cameo if you ask me. Spencer Dinwiddie doing great in the off-ball role that he has been now assigned, which would make a lot of sense with Ben Simmons now back in the fray. And Cam Thomas has been a little bit off his normal self, only the 20 minutes, 9 shot attempts, 2 makes. But overall, shooting the ball well, 17 threes made, and we've had more free throws, more offensive boards, more rebounds in general as a result. And the assist number is at a very healthy level. So doing a lot right in this game. Doing a lot right. So yeah, that is what we're dealing with. We've got 1 quarter to play. If you are enjoying, you know what to do. Show your support in multiple ways than one. And we will be back for Nets Philly. Same time next week. I ain't going nowhere. So if you want to be notified when I go live or just want to drop by, then you know what to do. Armani Brooks for 3. That is long. The rebound by Giles, who's back in the game, and the putback by him is good. So that is his 5th offensive board. That is his 6th make on the day from 8 shots. Jalen Wilson is in the game. And we've got a foul. I believe it's on Jalen Wilson, who's just checked in. Don't ask me what for, because I can't answer that question for you. Anyway. So, play resumes. Drive. Bounce pass. Good dump off by Maccabi, and they score their first bucket of the final period. Cuts it back to 19. So, 5 on the floor for the Nets. They're going a lot taller than they usually would, even despite the lack of centers we have. Watford is called for a double dribble. We've got Giles, Watford, Baisley, Wilson, and Brooks. So, in the first quarter, we were running with 3 guards and Bridges at the 4. But now we're running with 3 wings, a center, and only 1 shooting guard that can't even handle the ball. So I guess that's what the abilities of Trendon Watford can do, because he essentially becomes a point guard. So we've got like 2 point forwards in this team, which is a pretty unique look. Brooks is finding a little bit difficulty in passing the ball. He was able to find Watford, who was then fouled by Wiggins or Higgins. I can't really see his name. Caboclo will check back in. So Watford, from the side out, gets it to Brooks, who shoots a 3. Bro, he's got a green light. He does not care how many players are in his grill. He's going to let it fly. And then Maccabi just turn it over pretty innocuously. Wilson, the Euro, the layup off the window. That wasn't the correct angle. And Maccabi will bring it up. Cross-court pass. Bounce pass into the middle. And Caboclo was there, but the Nets did well to cancel that outlet out. And so it will be a side out for Maccabi with 10 minutes 17 to play in this final quarter. I would sense that we're not going to see much more action from the top 6 or 7 players in our rotation. This is where you just give the others a bit of run. And Jalen Wilson has gotten ahead, and he scores the easy 2 off the window for his first points of the game. Baisley with the dime, and it will now be Wiggins. Wait, is it Higgins or Wiggins? I don't know. Nothing has gotten me so baffled. That's pretty lackluster defending by the Nets, but Maccabi well short on the 3 there, top of the key. Watford now going to drive it. That kick out to Brooks was a little bit wild, and Maccabi had read it. It's a 3-on-2, and they utilised the extra well to get it back down to 19. So Watford is our point guard, in essence. And it looks like Cam Thomas is at the scorer's table ready to check in, which I'm excited for because this is where he should be thriving. Wilson into the paint. He lost it. And another turnover. It's now a 4-on-2. And there we go. That's another bucket. It's down to 17. So they're making things interesting. If they keep forcing these turnovers, well, you know, they're flagging that there is an opportunity there. But Harry Giles sort of stunts that momentum a little bit. They had a little bit of spring in their step. But Harry Giles responds well. And it's a 2+1 for Giles. He made the first, or he made the shot. So now he's got the free throw, of course, with 8:49 to play in this final quarter. 14-7 for Harry Giles in this game. It's been a really solid performance. You would sense that, well, it's either him or Day'Ron Sharpe. And if Day'Ron doesn't get up for the start of the year, well, best believe Harry Giles is probably slotting right in, especially given he got the start. Watford for three, doesn't get the bounce. Giles there for the putback. Just too much size, and that is now 16 for Harry Giles. 27 second chance points on the night. I think Harry Giles is like 6 offensive boards. Right on cue, gets a defensive rebound, and now the Nets. Watford, Giles, excellent feed. Baisley couldn't get it done as he was in pole position to poster the Maccabi Center. They probably want to get a little bit of sting out of this game. Well done by Giles to get a hand on it, to force it to Watford. Baisley to the corner for Wilson. Thought about the three. Instead, he's going to back down the defender. Muscled his way to the cup and scored for 2. It's up to 23, the margin. So the offense doesn't seem to be too phased, irrespective of what kind of personnel we got on the floor. That 3 is well short, and Giles again with the rebound. And Jacques Vaughan is going to call a timeout with the margin at 23. The Nets not struggling to score in this game. 114 points. Harry Giles doing, well, excellent in place of Nic Claxton in this game. Really impressed. Very similar to how I was impressed with Trendon Watford last game. Very impressed with Harry Giles tonight and how he's been able to fill in. Even Cam Thomas last game played his role. Didn't overdo it, overcomplicate things. Harry Giles tonight has done the simple things right. Gotten the rebounds, you know, the scoring, it hasn't been too flashy. But the first score he made was a mid-range on the baseline when the shot clock was winding down. You know, he's been there for the dump-off passes. He's been there for the putbacks. He's been pretty good with the hook shot at times. You know, it's just simple center play. And it's, if you can do the simple things right, you hold defenses accountable. You know, you've got to pay more attention to players like Giles if they are performing and doing those little things right. So, you know, holding defenses to account, especially if you're more so a role player and you're not really expected to play a sizable role, that's really valuable. So the Nets doing well, pretty well in this game. You know, 4 double-digit scorers for Maccabi. The 3-point shooting has absolutely gone off a cliff for them. For the Nets, you can see Harry Giles, 16 and 10 in this game. He's had 6 offensive boards. He's been highly efficient. The 4 personals, probably the only pitfall, but when you're producing 16 and 10, I don't think you can complain if you're being a little bit rash defensively. 15 to Dinwiddie, been highly efficient, barely had to take any shots to get to that mark. And Mikal Bridges was pretty efficient in the first half. It sort of slowed up in the second half. But then the bench has been emptied. Lonnie Walker in the first half with Noah Clowney. 2 very good cameos, by the way, combined for 20 on 9 of 11 shooting. And Trendon Watford has come in 8 minutes, facilitated the offense, had 3 rebounds, been to the free throw line 6 times, or for 6 free throws, and the 2 turnovers are probably a little bit of an issue. I think it's more balanced thing. In case you've missed it though, Dennis Smith did go to the locker room and was ruled out in the first quarter with a left ankle sprain. So that is, of course, something you never want to see, especially in a preseason game, and even more so when Day'Ron Sharpe fell victim to an ankle injury in the first game because he also landed on a player's foot. So unfortunate stuff. We have 5 players out of the rotation tonight due to injury. You would expect a few of those to be back by opening night, but as for the moment, we're witnessing or watching what is being put in front of us, and Trendon Watford gets back to his positive ways, scoring 2, getting fouled, and obviously now has a 7th free throw. So he's been grouse. Dark Shadow, mate, welcome back. It's been a hot minute since we saw you in the chat, which is well, it's good to see you back. Who has the most points? I can't see the score table on Google. We just had it up. Mikal Bridges has 23. The 3 by Maccabi, that was online. It's off, though. Harry Giles is now on the bench, so he will end the night with a double-double. The only player to possess such a stat line. Noah Clowney is in the game in replacement. So 26-point game. It's pretty comfortable stuff. Pretty de-stressing sort of stuff. It's just well, it's just good to see the Nets, the Nets back in business. Just sat down and looking at the box score. They have 50 people on their bench. Yeah. It's I don't really understand, like ESPN has been tripping out the whole evening. Usually just auto updates, but I have to keep spamming box score in order for it to actually work. Only 6 for Ben. His first half was superb. He scored 6 in the first half. He's barely gotten run in the second half, but he's got 6 rebounds and 9 assists. Really helped the offense to, actually flow. Jalen Wilson for 3 in the corner. Gets us up to 120. But yeah, 9 dimes for Ben really helped those 3-point shooters get open, especially at that stage of the game where we were getting stops. And obviously that promotes a kind of style where you want to push the pace. Ben is very well suited for that sort of play. So yeah. Where has all the chat dialogue gone to? What do you mean? What do we mean by that? Are we talking about the actual YouTube chat? I'm not sure what you mean. Ben Simmons, Mikal, Cam Johnson, Dorian Finney-Smith, Claxton. I agree, except for Dorian Finney-Smith. Do think that I actually think Finney-Smith out of the lineup. We're going to get a free throw for Maccabi. I would assume it was because a foul occurred prior to the ball being inbounded. It's going to be a side out for Maccabi after they make the free throw. I would say that it's got to be Clax, Cam Johnson, Mikal, Ben Simmons, and one other. Good cut by Maccabi. Great off-ball movement. Had Watford lost, and the lead is cut down to 26. I would say that final spot is up for grabs, and I think it's Spencer Dinwiddie's or Cam Thomas's. I think it probably... Oh, Wilson nearly got the score off the window after a nice little turn of the opponent. It will be 2 shots. I do think Spencer Dinwiddie will start the season at the 2 guard, and he's looked really good off the ball in the first couple of games. He's scored... I think he scored... How many threes did he score last game? 3? So he's shooting the ball like above 60%. Excuse me. Above 60% from 3, and he's had like 11 shots. So it's a good output. Second free throw is good. He splits the pair, Jalen Wilson. And it's now a 27-point game. That three-pointer is wide open by Maccabi, top of the key, but Caboclo gets the board, muscles his way into the paint, but Watford with the active hands and the steal. Now Baisley. The high screen by Wilson. The cross, the drive, walking a tightrope, and then eventually lost the ball. This team will go as far as Ben Simmons and Mikal Bridges will take them. That is literally a Spencer Dinwiddie quote. So, yeah, if Spencer Dinwiddie says it, then I also agree with you. That shot is off by Maccabi. The rebound by Clowney or Brooks. Take your pick. Brooks, Baisley. 5 on the floor for the Nets to close out this one, it seems. Clowney, Baisley, Watford, Brooks, Wilson. That 3 is off by Baisley. However, it ricocheted right back to him after the miss. Watford down the middle. The drive, the pull-up 2 is very solid. And it's back up to 29. I'll look at the chat in just a moment. Maccabi. Bacon. Back out top of the key to Tucker, who shoots the 3 over Wilson, and he knocks it down. Obviously, he started the game, so you would expect that he actually knocks down a couple of shots against the Nets' third stringers. Watford. Brooks. 3. Oh my God, that is from Philadelphia, that one. Jesus Christ. Bro, when he knocks down a 3-point shot, it is awfully satisfying. Awfully satisfying. It's just a fluent jump shot, and because he shoots them from way downtown, it's, well, even more appealing to the eye. Maccabi respond and crack the ton with 3:50 to play in the last quarter. They were looking on track for 120 in the first after they scored 39. There's Brooks again. That one was close to going down, but unfortunately rimmed out. And now Bacon. It would probably be a third stringer if he was like on the Magic or some shit. He bricks that one. They get the offensive board, and on the reload, aren't able to score. So Baisley going to bring it up himself. Clowney, good take. We're going to have a foul with 3:13 to play. If you are enjoying, make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe as well. We're going to be back for Nets Philly next Monday if you're in the US, next Tuesday if you're probably anywhere else, I would assume. Same time as the game this started. Or the same time as when this game started. There we go. Can't even get my words out. So Clowney makes the first free throw. And the Nets broadcasters just alluded to the whole coaching staff. Basically a complete overhaul from last season. So with KD and Kyrie going out, we've now got a complete overhaul. A new era, I guess it would suggest. And it's much more developmental. Clowney just missed the second, but we were able to secure the rebound off a little bit of fortune. Watford will drive, crossover, and the 2 over the top with the right hand. So Watford been really good. Second consecutive game. He should be playing a fair portion of minutes, especially if we're a little bit depleted to start the year. He can hold his own. Harry Giles has shown the same thing. If Dayron doesn't get up, best believe Harry Giles should be getting the gig. So Armani Brooks to Watford. Leaves it for Brooks, who shoots the 3 again. He got it again! Brother! Brooks, that is his third 3 of the game. I think he's shooting it on 50%. That is just a potluck guess. Could be right, could be wrong. Crossover. Bit of hesitation by Tucker. The kick out. And the drive. And the kick out back to Tucker in the corner, who relocated. It's off. And Watford with the board. So we're in just about the final 2 minutes of this second preseason game. Brooks to Baisley. They're looking for him again. Baisley takes it himself, and with the long strides, he got by the defender and scored for 2. So can the Nets make 140? I would be overly impressed with that after we scored 126 against LA. Watford with the rebound after Maccabi miss. Hey, if Armani Brooks gets 2 more 3-point looks, he could actually knock it down. Here he is. He backs himself in, and that's a really good trait to have. I guess especially when you're a G League player, you've got a little bit more to play for. You got to work harder. You got to have a strong mindset, especially when you're on the fringe of NBA rosters and you can get easily cut down by being cut from the team. In terms of that mentality that you possess. Watford, we're going to enter the final minute here. I will look at your chat messages when we're done here. There's going to be a foul. And it looks like we're going to have to wait for the game to end just a little while longer. 134-103. Let's have a look at the chat messages. I'd rather have Royce, but I feel like he's better on the bench. He is better on the bench. I agree. I like Cam Thomas off the bench to just light it up. That's the thing. He can play 20 minutes, 25 minutes, but he can fill a hole in our offense. Like, he scored 17 in the third quarter last game where the offense needed a little bit more punch. So that was pretty good to see, and he's just got the potential to do that and turn shit to gold, if that makes sense. Dinwiddie plays are just insanely weird, just straight up weird decisions. He is, but I think like first two games have been an indicator that he's going to have a lot less usage. He will be involved in the offense, but it'll be very quick touches. Like, he'll help move the ball along the perimeter. He'll catch and he'll pass it across to the next guy to sort of manipulate the open man we may have in a certain possession, for example. Or he'll get it on the catch and he'll shoot the three. I don't think we're going to see as much point guard Dinwiddie, especially with Simmons. I think that's why Dinwiddie should start, because I've seen glimpses of like Ben Simmons facilitating the offense. Spencer Dinwiddie has been the beneficiary of that. One of the major beneficiaries. So I think that is going to be something worth, looking at. I think Cam Thomas with the second unit, it's smart to stagger that. But I also think like Cam Thomas needs to get minutes. That is a non-negotiable. Who's going to be that other point guard or that guard that goes with him on the bench? Dennis Smith would have been the optimum number one option, because obviously he's a defensively minded guard and an elite one at that. And then Cam Thomas is an excellent scorer. So, you're getting the best of both worlds, if you will. Dinwiddie, Lonnie Walker, Cam Thomas, Royce O'Neal, Day'Ron Sharpe. That is a weird bench. That is a really weird bench. You just get a bit more balance if you have... The five would be the starting five: Clax, Cam Johnson, Mikal, Dinwiddie, Simmons. And Simmons is a point guard, but he can obviously play taller on defense. The bench would be Cam Thomas, Dennis Smith Jr., Royce, Doe, and whoever the center is, Harry Giles or Day'Ron. I imagine that interchanges a little bit over the course of the year. But that is obviously with the potential for players like Lonnie Walker, Trendon Watford, Darius Baisley to all enter the team. And I think that's a really good thing with our team this year. We go incredibly deep, we've got 12 good rotational players on the team. We don't have a star, but we've got a lot of depth. A lot of depth. And I think that's going to really put us in good stead, especially if we get injury hit early on. And we've got a really tough run early on as well. Brooks to the corner for Baisley. He's going to drive and spin. That's a good move. The dump-off pass was misdirected, and Maccabi break out in transition. Corner three, sets the feet, and he was on the sideline. So it looks like this one's going to be wrapped up quite shortly, with 29 or so seconds left. Maccabi put up a good fight in the first half, scored 61 points or 60 points, so obviously a little bit tougher in the second half for them to actually get some, scoring. And it's preseason, so you would have emptied the bench if you were them, and you also were the Nets. So Obviously, it doesn't say a crap ton about both teams, but it also says a little bit. As I said last game, it says a lot about mentality, the lineups, who Jacques Vaughan has placed where in the pecking order. It tells us a lot about that. Like, giving Harry Giles the start today probably indicates that he may be the backup big for the start of the season. But that one's it. That is it. 135-103, the final scores. What's happening to the Charlotte Hornets? Has something happened to the Charlotte Hornets? I mean, granted, they've been shit for years, but let's have a look at, well, we're going to look at the box score, of course, because you know that is tradition here. I didn't add rookies to the bench, and I've swapped out my bench. Would change. This is just from what we've seen so far. I mean, Dayron Sharp, you've seen 2 minutes. So, yeah, that's probably the only questionable part. Lonnie Walker is he's been pretty good in limited action, but the fact he's got limited action is a little bit of a question mark. Let's have a quick look at the Charlotte Hornets, because apparently the Charlotte Hornets, something's happened. Well, they scored 92 points and lost to Washington. That's probably what's happened. And no one scored more than 13 points. That is also a bit depressing. But we'll go back to something a little bit more exciting. The box score. I wouldn't say it's that exciting, but exciting enough. More exciting than Charlotte. Sorry, that was probably not needed. You can see 17 each to Weatherspoon and Bacon. They were pretty good in the first half. Things got a lot more difficult in the second half as other players didn't really pull their weight. They had 2 other players score 14 and 12. Don't ask me why they have a full school class on their bench. Brother, they've got 24 players. That's literally a class of students right there. That's literally the same amount. It's pretty crazy. I mean, they shot the ball like trash. They started the game on fire. They were 60% from the field, like 50% from 3, and you can see what's happened. What's transpired. They ended up taking 50 shots from 3, and let's just say the conversion wasn't all that great. The rebounding struggled as well. The Nets ended up having 20 more rebounds in total, 17 offensive boards, got to the line a fair bit, hit 23s, and basically shot the ball a tick under 50%. You can see the kind of contributions we got. Harry Giles was awesome for the home side with 16 and 10. Mikal Bridges had a great second quarter, or third quarter, should I say. He scored 23. I think it was the second. And Dinwiddie, efficient. 6 shots, 15 points. Ben Simmons was pretty good in his second game back. 6 points, 6 boards, and 9 assists. And those 9 assists were very valuable. He also hit a fadeaway jumper, which I don't think I could say has happened in his game for years, you know? In general. In general, yeah. Charlotte are a bit of a shambles. But to look at just a couple other stats, I'm not going to talk about Charlotte. I don't know why Cam Johnson is in the starting lineup, by the way. Cam Thomas had a little bit of a down game, but those games are to be expected. And then off the bench, Trenton Watford in 16 minutes backed up a good first performance with a good second performance. He scored 12, had 5 boards, and got to the line for 7 free throws. Second game in a row, he's been at the line the most, and obviously only on the court for limited action in the second half. 13 rebounds for Baisley. That is quite nuts. 4 offensive rebounds, but we know Harry Giles had 6 of those. Baisley was a clear team high, plus 34 in 24 minutes, and Noah Clowney scored 10. Jalen Wilson scored 8. And Armani Brooks scored 3 threes. Lonnie Walker in the second quarter, that was the only quarter he played. He scored 12 points and had, made 2 threes, had 2 dimes, 1 steal. Only the 8 minutes. I don't really know how they're managing it, but he had a really good second quarter. So, look, that is probably going to wrap things up. If you've got any things in the chat to say, I'm happy to read those, and then we can obviously wrap this one up. If you did enjoy the stream and you're leaving now, make sure to drop a like on it, and also subscribe to the channel as well if you want to be notified when I go live next, which will be for the third preseason game against Philly. Don't ask me what Philly are going to look like. I would imagine this may be, well, the team we see on Monday or Tuesday, whatever day it is. I imagine that is going to be a lot closer to the final rotation we will run on opening night. That being said, I don't know the status of the players who got injured recently and those who are coming back, obviously, from more longer layoffs. Cam Johnson, Claxton out with a short-term injury. I think it was more conditioning and rest. And then Dayron and Dennis Smith both have been bogged down with ankle injuries in recent memory in the 2 preseason games. So let's hope there's not another ankle injury next game. But, you know, those guys are probably, well, they were probably poised to be in our rotation opening night. So it's going to be interesting to see who puts their hand up. You could see Harry Giles did so today. And then Lonnie Walker put in some really good minutes. Trendon Watford could be a potential point forward option. There's a lot of shit we can do with this team because there's a lot of parity in terms of ability with these players. A lot of these guys are role players. So it really depends on what Jacques Vaughan wants, what sort of abilities he wants to, you know, hand pick in terms of what these players provide. So I mean, we're not going to know for sure because we're not Jacques Vaughan and we're not the coaching staff. I'm not an insider, unfortunately. But that's probably going to do it from me. Thank you for tuning in yet again. As I said, we'll be back in a couple of days' time. But it has been awesome as always. Always good to see us scoring a huge bunch and seeing the ball actually go through the net. That was probably the more questionable part of our game going into the season, and obviously the season hasn't started yet, and we haven't really played a full strength NBA defense that is actually trying. So it's probably a little bit misleading, but that being said, I'm really liking the method in which we're scoring the ball and such. So I think there's a lot to look forward to with this sort of team. But yeah, there's obviously a long way to go. We're not even into the regular season yet, so we'll see how we go. But thank you for tuning in yet again. We'll catch up in a couple of days' time. But for now, stay safe and bye for now.